This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne. What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Hey, thanks for dropping by. It is time once again for Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Nick Peroletti across the way. I'm Larry Peroletti. We thank our wonderful sponsors, Taco John's of Cheyenne, where, again, they are offering their sirloin steak burrito. If you have not had the sirloin steak burrito, well, try it for breakfast. How about lunch or dinner? It's there all the time, and it's here for a limited time only. Taco John's of Cheyenne. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30, your exclusive home for Jayco RVs, fifth wheels, travel trailers. Some special deals going on right now at Jolly Rogers, and some great financing packages available as well. You're ready to cruise the countryside. Make sure you're doing it in your Jayco from Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service on Highway 30. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Dell Range, right across from Menards, or Powers Field. They're directly across from Powers Field. 2 convenient drive-thrus serving up 3 squares Monday through Saturday. Oh, by the way, a plethora of graduations going on next week. Get a hold of them via CheyenneChicken.com, or just go over to Chick-fil-A and order up a cater out from them, because they do a fabulous job. And again, get to them now. Don't wait until the last minute. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Dell Range. Kia of Cheyenne over on Nation Way. The lot is filled with 2019 Kias from Soul all the way to Stinger. And they've got some good-looking vehicles that need new homes right now. See my good buddy AJ and the gang over at Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Platte Valley Bank Types 2 over on Vanda High and at the corner of College and Pershing. Banking, customer service-wise, the old-fashioned way, the high-technology way, the way Nick likes to do banking, everything in between. You need a home loan, you need an auto loan, you need a remodel loan, you need a HELOC. Call my good friend Rick and the crew today over at Platte Valley Bank of Cheyenne. Medicap Pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs with your doctor's prescription. Let Gene Barber and his wonderful staff fill those prescriptions. Explain those medications to you. They got a convenient drive-thru. You can shop inside. They're there Monday through Saturday. Medicap Pharmacy on Blue Grass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse. Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center serving our area for a quarter century. Again, the Auto and Truck Repair Center, which Nick will be visiting here coming up next week to get his vehicle fixed, and they'll do a fantastic job as always. They're over there on Dunn Avenue, the Auto Glass and Detail Center over on Pershing Boulevard. First Tier Bank at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, offering a 3.1 annual percentage yield right now, 3.1% annual percentage yield on a 27-month CD. You need to go over to First Tier Bank, check out those details at 1508 Stillwater Avenue. Across the street at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Paisan Cuisine, it's at its best. Locally owned, locally operated. They've been doing this for 4 decades. Mondello's Pizzeria in the Greenway Commons at 1507 Stillwater Avenue, Suite D in the Greenway Commons. By the way, we're talking about pizza. We're talking about sandwiches, strombolis. We're talking about calzones, always freshly baked, fresh-baked breads, dough, fresh ingredients. It's delicious eating all the time at Mondello's Pizzeria. Mars Plumbing Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue. They're on the job 24/7. So, again, you know the reputation of Marv's. If you need their services, even at 2 o'clock in the morning, you get to the phone, you give them a call. Again, Mars Plumbing Heating, 1515 Logan Avenue here in Cheyenne. And we get things underway with our Pepsi scoreboard. I'm sure it's going to be a little limited on Nick's side, but we'll throw it his way anyway. What do you got?
Well, it's limited on your side as well, too. There's not a whole lot of baseball. All baseball's gotten underway earlier today, but at least no NHL again. Stanley Cup Finals starting up on Monday. So looking at least down in the AAA ranks at the American Hockey League, if you are interested at all, the Eastern Conference Final, at least getting underway tonight. Game number 4 between the Charlotte Checkers and the Toronto Marlies, where Charlotte does have a 2-1 lead in that series. This game will be in Toronto, happening happening tonight about 6 o'clock. So again, Eastern Conference Final, Game 4 happening tonight. Western Conference Final got underway, at least game number 3, between Chicago and the San Diego Gulls, where the Gulls got the win at home 3-2. Now San Diego leads that series 2-1. So that's what's happening in the American Hockey League.
All right, we go over to Major League Baseball. There were matinee performances. There still are matinee performances. Right now, we see in the majors, we do have some finals in as well. Phillies, bottom of the 7th inning, leading the Cubs 8-5 at Wrigley. The Braves have just tied the Giants 2-2 in San Francisco at Oracle. They have moved to the bottom of the 5th. Bottom of the 3rd inning, this is a makeup from last night because they were rained out in SoCal, of all places, at the Big A. The Angels playing host to the Twins, bottom of the 3rd, and it's Minnesota leading 8-2. Finals that are in, Mets 6, Nats 4 this afternoon. The Rockies got beat up 14-6. Antonio Senzatella absorbing the loss. He's 3-4 this season with a 6.21 earned run average. Ouch for a starter. Yankees tripping up the Orioles in Camden Yards 6-5. It was the Bo Sox over the Blue Jays at the Rogers Center 8-2. Marlins have defeated the Motor City Kitties of Detroit at Comerica 5-2. Rays and the Indians, they will hook up at 4:10 this afternoon at Progressive Field. And our final game at 6:10 this evening will be the Astros at Minute Maid. They entertain the Chicago White Sox. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Hi, I'm Alex White, tea master at Pure Leaf. When I make tea, everything I know goes into it. You can't be impatient. When I craft Pure Leaf iced tea, I don't take shortcuts, because I want you to have the same amazing taste of iced tea that I do. So I start with fresh picked tea leaves. Then, after they're delicately dried, I blend and brew them at a lower temperature to draw out their unique aromas. And then I taste and fine-tune the blend for a delicious smooth iced tea. I'd love to have you take a sip right now, but that's one thing we can't do over the radio. But you can experience the same delicious taste of Pure Leaf iced tea anywhere you are. I'm Alex White, Pure Leaf Tea Master. Pure Leaf, our thing is tea.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Are you looking for a pharmacist who will actually take the time to talk to you? Then come to Medicap Pharmacy. We're dedicated to healthcare only, which means we'll fill your prescription quickly, and then we'll make time to listen, answer your questions, explain your prescriptions, and tell you about possible drug interactions.
Medicap Pharmacy will always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Are you tired of paying ATM fees? Hi, this is Rick Flood, president of Platte Valley Bank in Cheyenne. Use your Platte Valley Bank ATM or Visa debit card at any ATM anywhere. We won't charge you a fee on our end, and we'll reimburse any fee you incur at any other ATM. That's right, no ATM fees at Platte Valley Bank. How about that? Platte Valley Bank, 3310 North College Drive and 421 Bandai Avenue, or pvbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You can count on Platte Valley Bank. Community banking for you.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with a chance of rain showers with highs around 43. If it's tonight, it'll be cloudy once again with a chance of snow showers with lows around 31. On Friday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 60. And on Friday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 37.
Fat, lazy, and stupid is no way to conduct a sports talk radio show. We've thrown down the gauntlet, upped the stakes, and made it clear that when it comes to sports talk radio in Cheyenne, there's a new player in town. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
We're back on Wyoming Sports Talk Today. I see that our first guest has just walked into the building. So what we're going to do you got a quick 30 there you can toss it? But we'll let her get rearranged here real quick before we throw her on the air. Real quick, a couple of baseball notes here, Nick. And yesterday when we had Trey Trimble on, where he says he follows the New York Mets, just a couple of Mets notes that I have here. Brandon Nimmo, former Cheyenne's standout, has been diagnosed with neck inflammation on Wednesday after an MRI revealed no structural damage. That's good news. Matter of fact, Brandon has been put on the 10-day DL for the Mets. And then the news is not good for Jonas Cespedes as he underwent season-ending surgery on his right ankle today. So the Mets right now having some injury problems. I was looking at some stats for Brandon for the season right now. Is Brandon having a little bit of a rough go? I don't know. Maybe that had something to do with the neck injury. I don't know.
And two pieces for the New York Mets that are kind of injury prone, at least a part of that franchise against Cespedes has had multiple injuries.
He's had a share, yeah.
And certainly with Brandon. So kind of same old there, at least in the New York Mets organization. So, again, a team that is keeping at least true in the NL East right now, trying to catch up with Philadelphia and Atlanta. To get at least for these two pieces, key pieces for the New York Mets. This is definitely not what they need right now if they want to even contend or at least have a thought of catching those two teams in front of them. So we'll see what happens. Again, 10-day DL for Brandon. Obviously, again, not going to rush him out, see what's going to happen with him. But at least it's nothing serious at this point.
Well, Brandon was hitting 200 at the time he went to the injured list. 3 home runs, 14 RBIs for the season for the Metropolitans. And then also another baseball note here, as we talked earlier, Rockies, after taking care of Pittsburgh rather easily the last couple of days, I mean, they got pummeled. And another Rocky starter getting beaten around quite a bit, and that would be Antonio Senzatella for the Rocks today. Again, he upped his ERA as it now goes a 6.21 as the starter for Bud Black. Rockies, they got punished by the score of 14-6, so they take 2 out of 3 from the Bucks. That's a good thing.
Well, it gets better after kind of licking your wounds after that one against Pittsburgh today. Again, you're at home, and hopefully you'll be able to play. We'll see what the weather's going to be like.
They're at home. They've got an under 500 record at home right now.
Yeah, but, I mean, you're taking on the Baltimore Orioles, so hopefully you'll be able to rebound against this team. But who knows right now with the Colorado Rockies. Again, pitching's been so inconsistent. Hitting's been inconsistent. The whole team's been inconsistent. You wonder if they can beat Baltimore at home. But also, too, the other question is, will they even be able to play down at Coors Field? Because we've already seen a fair share of weather, at least situations in Denver.
Keep our fingers crossed at Mother Nature.
Looking for tomorrow and this weekend for Colorado. Again, should be nice, should be mostly sunny. Again, only potential afternoon thunderstorms, so they should be able to play baseball, but that is also to a factor of will they even be able to play.
No SNOW in the forecast. Oh, by the way.
Well, there's snow showers, but that's for here.
In today's loss, they whiffed 10 times. The Senzatella line score, he went 3 1/3 innings today. 8 runs, 9 hits, 8 of them earned. So he threw 87 pitches over 3 1/3 innings in their loss today. Again, upped his average ERA, that is, to 6.21. Rockies lose again to the Bucks. Final score 14-6 from PNC. Take a quick timeout. We'll come back. We'll talk to our first guest after these words right here on 1480 KRAE.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Human history has shown anything is possible with inspiration and hard work. The 4-minute mile, a man on the moon, a water skiing squirrel, and now sirloin steak burritos from Taco John's.
Sirloin steak burritos are back at Taco John's. Stuffed with hand-carved sirloin steak and bold flavors like the melty, savory grilled cheese steak burrito, plus steak and shrimp or steak and potato olays. And for the morning, 2 steak and egg breakfast burritos. Sirloin steak burritos are back, but only for a limited time. Olay the Day at Taco John's.
If it happens on the diamond, the hardwood, the field, or even the ice, we'll talk about it on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hi, this is Nick Peretti inviting you to join Larry Peretti and myself each weekday from 3 to 5 p.m. as we, along with our special guests, talk sports locally, regionally, and nationally. And you can chat with us too at 307-514-1071. It's Wyoming Sports Talk today only on 1480 KRAE, and you can stream live with us at 1480krae.com.
Right now, it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too. Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day at Windmill and Del Range.
We are the key to your cleaning success. The Key People that provides affordable office and professional cleaning services for over 40 years with exceptional customer care. All of our contractors have background checks and are licensed and bonded. We guarantee you a safe and secure service that is tailored to your individual and business needs. The Key People do not impose year-long contracts, and all quotes are free, confidential, and personalized. Call Key People at 1-800-468-8283. That's 1-800-468-8283.
Is the touchscreen on your phone or tablet cracked or broken? Buying a new device could cost up to $1,000. Or you could let the local experts at High West Digital Solutions save you hundreds of dollars. We can replace your touchscreen in as little as a day, and your satisfaction is guaranteed. Visit our website at hwds.com or call 307-245-4333 and speak to a real live human being. High West Digital Solutions, the best choice, the local choice, the right choice for you.
We're taking Cheyenne, Wyoming Sports Talk Radio to a whole new level. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
Don't look at me. I think these people are completely nuts.
Stop this crazy thing! And it's only here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today as we get to host our first guest, and she is the girls soccer coach at Cheyenne East, completing her first season, but also splitting time, still assistant coach out at the LCCC.
She now at least focuses on LCCC soccer.
Yeah, I was going to say, she also takes care of the Lady Golden Eagles, but we want to welcome back Rebecca Valdez because we had Rebecca in when she was named over at Cheyenne East, which was a good fit because she is an instructor over at Cheyenne East. So I think athletic director Jerry Slabs and Sam Merich, again, making that wise decision to keep it in-house. And again, too, Jim and your relationship over the years made sense to have Rebecca stay over at Cheyenne East. So let's look at the year that was. First off, welcome to our program. And I guess, how's the body feeling? Because I know you're not really on the field, but I mean, you did a lot of soccer throughout the course of the school year.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm kind of tired. The body's finally catching up, and it realizes I don't have to be at practice, so I'm pretty tired. But still, seniors are done this week, so still got to get their grades done, and lots of meetings. And I'm the department chair at East, so we're doing interviews, and so no rest for the weary right now.
Did you find throughout this first year of being head coach for Cheyenne East, and again dealing with being an assistant at LCCC, were there moments in time of just having difficulty kind of juggling between all right, I got to focus and help Jim out on the LCCC side, I got to focus on preparing Cheyenne East for the upcoming soccer season? I mean, were there points where you had to just kind of slow down and go, I need to take a breather here and focus on something at least one or the other right now?
Yeah, it is a balancing act, and Jim's been great with helping me. And if anybody understands, it's Jim. And, for a lot of years, I did most of the spring soccer at LCCC, and we kind of switched roles where, Jim took that off my shoulders, and he took on almost everything at LCCC. He would call me a few times to ask me questions here and there, or send me videos of recruits so I could watch on my own time instead of, that being my big focus. So he did a great job of helping me out so I could just focus on East this year, which was my primary focus in the spring.
Being the head coach at Cheyenne East, and again, you saw the state coaching this year. So in the back of your mind, are you, and again, I know what the main goal is for the Lady Thunderbirds, but in the back of in your mind, are you saying, so-and-so from Laramie, I may want to talk to her after the season's over?
Well, that's one of the awesome roles you're in, is that you can see kids that could help you out at LCCC, and, it's always nice to have Wyoming kids on roster. So, there are a few kids that we've seen, and, I relay that back to Jim of what I've seen and what I think, and let him do the contacting. And, I did talk to a few kids out on the road. But it's a nice position to be in, to be able to offer Wyoming kids a place to call home for their next 2 years of soccer.
Let's talk about the season general. Last time we saw you, we were at the Guestbys at LCCC, and you were talking about, hey, regional's probably going to be indoors in Laramie, which, again, at the University of Wyoming, they offer that facility. So that's a nice thing where you didn't have delays or, days that get wiped out because of field conditions. But let's talk about your East Lady Thunderbirds this season, your first year. It didn't go the way you were hoping it would go, but I mean, these kids really put out for you during the course of the season.
Yeah, I couldn't be prouder of the kids. We had a good group of seniors. We had 6 of them, and they fought through a lot of injuries, and they were able to get the team where at least they weren't last year. One of the biggest goals was just to make it back to state, to get there, and then once we got there, hopefully win a couple games, and that didn't quite go as planned. We won 1. We should have won 2, but the biggest goal was just to get the program back to that caliber of winning state, or not winning state, but getting to state. And last year they didn't have a winning season, so this year we doubled our wins. So I think, all in all, it's successful, and we have a good foundation set up for the future.
As we look at least towards state, that happened the past weekend, coming in out of the east side as the 4 seed, as you took on Rock Springs day 1. Unfortunately, it was a 4-0 at least loss there. Moved into the consolation semifinals where you took on Jackson Hole, got the 1-0 victory in that contest, and then fought against Laramie in the consolation championship, where Laramie got away with a victory there, 1-0. But I mean, again, getting back into the state, at least for this team coming in as that lower seed, just talk about just the East Side Lady Thunderbirds, of their experience playing up in Jackson Hole, dealing with some weather as well, too, up there. But other than that, though, just their state experience this past weekend.
Yeah, I swear the weather followed us. Every game we played, it would rain, and then the skies would part and get nice after we were done. It was good for us. It was good for the kids to be there and have the experience, and they played hard. And Rock Springs is a legit team this year. They have that number 4, Badero, who's going to UW, and she's a good player. And I think we're hobbling into state with some key injuries and key positions. And credit to them, they had a good game plan. The second game, we came out, the kids played really hard. I was able to get some different kids in to different positions. We weren't normally used to playing them just because of injuries. And then that last game against Laramie, soccer's a weird game where you can dominate an entire game and still lose. We probably had 70% of possession that game, and we just couldn't find the back of the net. But that's been our problem all season. So hopefully that's something we can work on in the off season.
One of the things that is a tribute to the sport of soccer, especially here in my time that I've been here in Wyoming, and again, it was East Central. You'd always, think East Central for soccer, whether it was boys or girls, but the rest of the state is now, the Jacksons of the world, the Rock Springs, as you mentioned. Of course, Casper's been pretty legit through the years, and winning is everything up in Gillette. But my point is, though, throughout the whole state now, this sport really is equal amongst all the schools.
Yeah, it is. It's good to see a balance and to see different teams having successful seasons. I mean, on the boys' side, Jackson was able to win it in Jackson, which is, phenomenal. And on the girls' side, Thunder Basin was able to take it home this year with, maybe a controversial call in there. But, it's good to see that there's a balance of talent around the state. And for the first time, the East wasn't just the dominant side. The West had some decent teams this year and legitimate opportunities to win state.
So we'll talk about that state championship kind of at least controversy tomorrow coming up with head coach Jeff Norman as well.
Let's talk here. Now the season is over. You get a chance to breathe a little bit, and again, you look ahead. I mean, you already have to look ahead towards 2020. So your juniors, the seniors next year. And again, with the ladies, I think it's a nice deal because you get some kids that come from basketball. They're involved in other sports, whether it's volleyball before that. But the point is, Coach, what do you ask them to do in the offseason to stay in soccer shape, so to speak?
Well, the biggest thing is just, the fundamentals that you don't have time to spend a lot of time on. Our season is so condensed, and you're spent a lot of your time spent inside. So some of those things with just, footwork and, shooting, taking on defenders, the things that we have limited time for in practice, that technical work they need to work on their own. Just, get outside, get a ball, and go hit some at North Park. So that's what we look them to do, just to get their technical side of their game down a little bit better.
Now, looking in the offseason, I mean, what's kind of on your to-do list? I know that you need a little bit of a break, and you could talk about what special thing you get to do, at least with your kind of time off. But what are kind of the to-do things right now for you on both focusing for Cheyenne East, but also, too, now getting ready for fall for LCCC women's soccer?
Well, for East, we got to still finish up. I'm still trying to get a banquet set up and on equipment turned in and all that fun stuff that goes with being the head coach. But, the biggest thing is just getting those kids in and hopefully get into the weight room this summer and get some touches on the ball. And, I like multi-sport athletes, so encouraging them to do other sports in the off season. As far as LCCC goes, I'm going to take some time off here. I get to go to the World Cup, which will be fun in France for a couple weeks, and then come back and start getting ready for your LCCC, just getting equipment ready and stuff ready for preseason.
Now, again, as you're in that interesting spot, being the head coach of Cheyenne East, and again, assistant with LCCC, a phenomenal program that is nationally ranked, makes it to the national tournament, is a phenomenal just outfit here in the city of Cheyenne. Again, as we talk about these camps, also too with LCCC on the basketball side, hosting a summer camp, know that soccer programs, both at least with Vince Gibson on the men's side and also too Jim on the women's side. You having that special, at least, relationship, are you able to take your youngsters from Cheyenne East and kind of introduce them to the players that you know very well with LCCC and show and get them kind of acclimated and show, hey, this is what to expect at the next level, this is what you'll be learning, this is what you'll be doing? I mean, do you have that kind of option to take those youngsters and let them learn under the kind of higher-ups that you're dealing with?
Yeah, it's a nice bridge, and I actually had some of my college kids come out and talk to the kids before state, just talking about what the postseason is like. And one of the cool things about the college kids is they weren't even expected to make the national tournament. We got an at-large bid, which was phenomenal. It was the first year we did it. And so just talking about, not taking anything for granted and taking your opportunities. So it's nice to be able to have the opportunity to have those kids mentor the high school kids and tell them what things are about and if they want to go on to college sports, what it looks like.
It's interesting. You get two different looks at soccer. When you're with LCCC, most of your work is done outside. I mean, we have fantastic weather all the way through the end of October, and then, like you said, you get the at-large bid. You go and you're out of Cheyenne. Sometimes you encounter cold and wintry weather where you were at for the Nationals. But on the other side of the coin, when you're over at East, a lot of your work is indoors. You don't get that opportunity, that luxury of working out in the Okie Blanchard Sports Complex because Mother Nature keeps you indoors. So with the Thunderdome and the auxiliary gym, how much does that hurt you by working indoors than being outside?
Well, you just have to work a little bit different what you're working on. And obviously you don't have the space, so just the size is where it limits you. And so you're not seeing the full-size field, but you're able to work on some of the smaller technical parts. But the tactical parts, sometimes you need that extra space. So it's just a different type of coaching, and you work around it because that's, it's the nature of where we're at.
All righty. Well, Coach, we want to thank you for coming in. Like you said, you got a lot of business still to take care of, and we appreciate you sneaking away and coming in and kind of capsulizing the season for us. And again, looking forward to seeing you back on the sidelines again with Jim coming up here with the LCCC season right in August, right?
In August, yeah.
Boy, that's going to be here before you know it as well. Rebecca Valdez, Cheyenne East Lady Thunderbirds head coach, joining us here on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Take a time out. We'll be back with more after these words.
Cheyenne's oldest coin dealer and supplier, The Coin Shop, is proud to serve the community since 1982. Trade or sell your gold, silver, and other precious metals. Visit with David and the knowledgeable staff for a fair and honest assessment of your valuables. Located at 510 West Lincoln Way. Call them today at 778-7196 to schedule your personal consultation.
At Platte Valley Bank, we understand that you have a busy life, and that means you don't always have time to come to the bank. That's why we offer user-friendly online and mobile banking with features such as bill pay, recurring transfers, and mobile deposit, so you can bank how you want when you want to. Whether you prefer to bank in person, over the phone, or online, Platte Valley Bank makes it easy to take care of your finances.
Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC.
You can count on Platte Valley Bank. Community banking for you.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
First Tier Bank's drives remain competitive and offer some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You can actually get something good for your health at a drive-through window. When you order your next prescription from Medicap Pharmacy, call ahead and use our drive-through window. Or you can call for free delivery. You can even log on to Medicap.com and order a prescription refill. Your Medicap pharmacist will call you to make arrangements for pickup or delivery.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Are you tired of paying ATM fees? Hi, this is Rick Flood, president of Platte Valley Bank in Cheyenne. Use your Platte Valley Bank ATM or Visa debit card at any ATM anywhere. We won't charge you a fee on our end, and we'll reimburse any fee you incur at any other ATM. That's right, no ATM fees at Platte Valley Bank. How about that? Platte Valley Bank, 3310 North College Drive and 421 Van High Avenue, or pvbank.com. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You can count on Platte Valley Bank. Community banking for you.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with a chance of rain showers with highs around 43. For tonight, it'll be cloudy once again with a chance of snow showers with lows around 31. On Friday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 60. And on Friday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 37.
You bleed brown and gold? So do we. Wyoming Cowboys football and basketball is always front and center on this show. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Thanks for joining us on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Thank you to head coach Rebecca Valdez of the Cheyenne East Lady Thunderbirds joining us on Wyoming Sports Talk today. Again, Rebecca, she mentioned it's finals week and got to get banquets put together and turn equipment, so we made sure that we didn't keep her here too long today.
Again, she's going to be busy. It's just amazing of talking with her and just kind of picking her brain of where, again, now as a head coach, she's kind of going through what Jim did where he was head coach of both East and LCCC. So with her role, again, kind of in the same situation, being an assistant at LCCC, but now taking the head coaching reins at Cheyenne East, again, just a busy individual. And it's just amazing of even with JUCO, at least head coaches, where we talk with Jason Fickett, Brian Ortmeyer, Vince Gibson, whoever it may be, again, their lives are just busy enough of dealing with just at least their lone sport with their lone school. Right. I mean, she's juggling time. Thankfully, it's here in town, though. Again, separating just at least College Drive to get at least down there. Again, it's amazing of how she juggles between coaching at two different entities.
And again, you're doing the high school thing, which is, great. I mean, they kept the job in-house. And then, of course, too, she's been with Jim for many years over at LCCC. So, it's been a full-year job for her, like most coaches, and we know that especially on the JUCO side, coaching is a year-round activity. Well, even for some of the high school coaches.
Well, even as an assistant, though, again, as we talk with, maybe Dwayne Salisbury under Jason Fickett there at LCCC with the men's basketball program. Again, that's a full year job as well, too, of recruiting, helping out, trying to get at least off-season workouts taken care of. Again, basically being that assistant to at least improve that program. So, again, she's juggling two different coaching positions right now here in town, again, on the JUCO and the high school level. And, again, just at least with both teams, they play on a stellar level. Again, Cheyenne East getting back into the state tournament after a rough season last year, being a part of a national, at least tournament-bound LCCC team, which I would assume probably going to be there once again coming up this fall. So, just talk about just what a phenomenal just effort she's doing here in the city of Cheyenne.
I do want to turn our thoughts here real quick to the hardwood. A couple of things. First off, University of Wyoming head men's basketball coach Alan Edwards announced the addition of Matt Wise as an assistant coach.
A known face.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically he stepped away for a year and comes back.
Yeah.
Wise returns to the Pokes after spending last season as an assistant coach at Little Rock. He was on the Cowboy coaching staff as an assistant director of player development from 2013 through the 2018 season. So coming back as an assistant coach.
Yeah.
During his only season in Little Rock, Wise helped mentor all Sun Belt selection Rajon Tucker. He ranked fourth in the Sun Belt Conference in scoring at 20.3 points per game while becoming just the fifth player in program history to score 600 points in a season.
What does that tell me? Again, the Sun Belt that is not known as a basketball powerhouse. I mean, good on him. But right now, hey, at least he's familiar with at least being under Coach Shyatt, being under Coach Alan Edwards. It's at least he knows what is expected there at the University of Wyoming. Especially knows how the play is going to be for the Wyoming Cowboys. Again, as we talk about hiring on the football side for basketball, does this move the needle? Is it something where here we go?
Basically, he's there to replace Jermaine Kimbrough, who accepted a job at Loyola Chicago last week. So. When you leave, I guess in Alan Edwards' situation, when you leave his program for whatever the case may be, it leaves the door open for you to come back.
Which is interesting. It's something of, hey, that's good on you, Coach Alan Edwards, but also too of, why is this entity coming back to the University of Wyoming where he already moved on to Little Rock? He was a part of the Sun Belt, and then came back to the University of Wyoming. Again, not trying to cause any controversy, but it just seems kind of...
You are causing controversy.
To me, it's just kind of weird. Or you said, hey, I'm leaving, I'm going to here, I'm going to go have fun in the Sun Belt. Oh, can I come back to the University?
So in other words, you just say, I'm going to leave for a year, and then, give me...
I'm going to test the waters, and I don't like Little Rock, I'm going to go back to Laramie.
All right.
That is...
Moving on to the professional ranks, and you and me were talking about this. We know Game 5 is on tap tonight, right? Between the Bucks. Oh, no, it's tomorrow night, right? Yeah, tomorrow night. That's why I didn't mention it on the schedule. So they are going to match up Game 5. That will be in the Fiserv Forum. So
actually, I think it
is tonight. Yeah, I thought, and I apologize for not mentioning it on the scoreboard. Yeah, it is tonight. They'll tap at 6:30. Because
it didn't pop up on mine at all.
It does right now.
Yeah, again, it will be happening at 6:30 tonight.
Milwaukee's favored in this one as they go back home.
Well, the Vegas odds and the favoritism, obviously, it goes for who's at home. I mean, we saw with Toronto heading into
series,
3 and 4.
Would you agree?
Absolutely. I think that's probably where you get your Game 7. Milwaukee gets it done at home, and you just move on like that. Like I said, neither team right now is really that impressive. Neither team shows that they're going to take care of the Warriors. It's something that we ranted about yesterday. Again, it continues here to Game 5. I would assume Milwaukee should win at home. There should be no reason why.
They're favored by 7.5 points.
I think Toronto was favored by like 9 or something in Game 4 or something like that.
And they won by 18.
Yeah, they dominated, and I wouldn't doubt that Milwaukee at home comes back and repays the favor to the Toronto Raptors. But I wouldn't be surprised if Toronto gets it done tonight as well on the road. I mean, it is an evenly matchup series. Again, don't read into that favorite score. Again, 7.5 points favorite for the Bucks. I don't read into that. This is a toss-up. It really could go either way. Does Milwaukee finally get the help from its starting 5? Does the Greek Freak, Giannis, kind of pick it up here at home? There's a good possibility, and I think he needs to do that for Milwaukee to get the win. Toronto, again, there's possibilities for them of, will Kawhi have another phenomenal night? Will the bench for Toronto step it up and kind of help this team get another victory? There is that possibility, but we've seen so much inconsistency in this series. You don't know what to expect at this point in time. So, again, it'll be a fun one. But like I said, this Eastern Conference Final, it's pretty much two teams just battling out for the opportunity to get their brains beat in by the Golden State Warriors at this point in time.
Well, let's talk about the Warriors. I'm glad that you brought it up. And I'm really shocked by this because, again, I've had a hamstring injury before. I haven't really ever had the calf injury, so I can't relate to this. Obviously, I'm not a basketball stud like KD, but Kevin Durant is unlikely to be ready for Game 1. That's next week. And as he still continues to recover from the right calf injury, Durant has not played since injuring his calf in Game 5 of the Western Conference semifinals. That was back on May 8th. That's 15 days ago. He was reevaluated by the Warriors medical staff today and still hasn't been cleared for on-court work. So what are we missing here about this injury? How serious really is it? Because, again, you think of
is it serious or is it something that Golden State is just not rushing at this point of just keeping it at caution, at least so to speak, with Kevin Durant of going, we don't need you that badly. We don't need to rush you. We'll take its time. No need to get you out there when you're about 50% because we're that desperate. No, it's pretty much of, hey, let's focus once you're about 85, 90, 95, then we'll toss you out there.
But Steve Kerr and the Warriors, they've remained non-committal about Durant's possible return over the last couple of weeks because they just aren't sure how he will continue to respond to treatment. They have all noted how much they need him back as they attempt to win their third straight championship.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's be honest. You want Kevin Durant back because, again, he elevates that team to a whole other level. But like I said, this Golden State team, they proved against Houston that they didn't need him. Mm-hmm. And in the NBA Finals, whether it is Toronto or Milwaukee, they don't need him that bad. It is not something where you're looking at a powerhouse of Milwaukee or Toronto. You're not looking at, especially on Milwaukee, other than Giannis, he's kind of the established or at least up-and-coming superstar in the NBA. But it's not like years ago where, oh, no, we got to face LeBron.
It'll be like facing Anthony Davis last year when they took on the Pelicans.
There you go.
So – but
is that something where, oh, no, I'm worried about I need KD back for that? No, really. Like I said, for Toronto, you have an argument for Kawhi. But, again, these are two entities that are not, on that level of, oh, no, we're facing a LeBron. Oh, no, you're facing a Kevin Durant. You're not facing that single-handed player that is established as being one of the greats right now in the association. And I think with Golden State, like I said, they're cautious right now with Kevin Durant. Why risk even long-term injury where, hey, we've got this. We proved that we got this.
I understand that. And they still have another week. I mean, the finals don't start until next Thursday. But, again, the Warriors have to prepare, and they need to get ready for either Milwaukee or Toronto. So, obviously, they're doing preparation for both. There is good news on the Golden State side. Today, that injured center DeMarcus Cousins actually participated in his first full practice since tearing his left quadriceps.
Which is
now
amazing.
that to me that's painful right there if you're tearing your quadriceps.
Yeah, but that's amazing that he's getting back. Where people assume that he wasn't even going to be back for quite some time, not even in the playoffs. That he's returning at a quick pace.
And Steve Kerr said he was up in the air concerning Cousins' availability for Game 1. The team is confident Cousins will be able to return at some point after the series begins. So, I mean, this is good news. We already know Iguodala is going to be back for game
Yeah, there was
one.
no question on him. Again, it wasn't as serious. It was just kind of a nagging injury for Iguodala. But right now, again, your big pieces of at least DeMarcus Cousins to add just that much more to this Golden State powerhouse. Kevin Durant, again, you want him on the court because it's pretty much it's clear and cut game over. Toronto, Milwaukee, you're definitely not beating the Golden State Warriors. But right now, Golden State, that front office, Steve Kerr, there's no need to rush these entities. You can get it done with your core with Steph, Clay, and Draymond. You know you can. You just did it, and you can do it again. Let's be honest. Why rush out these pieces and risk losing them altogether? Or maybe there is a situation where Milwaukee or Toronto gets ahead in a series, and maybe that's where the sense of urgency where, okay, we push it to that last second. All right, KD, are you about 75? Okay, let's get you on the court now. You just wonder if it's kind of a chess match with these two other teams remaining in the Eastern Conference of saying, hey, we still have these pieces right here. They could come at least come back in the playoffs, or at least in this NBA Finals at any point in time. You almost wonder if it is kind of a mental game right now of saying, hey, we still have this in our back pocket, so be aware of that.
Well, the Warriors are basically, even though they're practicing, they're kind of shutting out the media, so to speak. They're not going to.
That's fine.
They're not going to tip their cap because, again, Iguodala did not practice today with the Warriors, but he'll be ready for game one.
Yeah.
Boogie needs to get conditioned. That's what basically where he needs to get,
He's got plenty of time to do
even
it.
if Kerr gives him 10, 15 minutes, to get in his condition shape.
Yeah.
I would expect, even though it says unlikely, that's kind of like when we get the football things. Nick Proetti is probable, he's questionable, he's out. Okay, when you get those football verbiage.
It's just stupid terms, yeah.
Yeah, but, when you're probable, you're going to play.
Yeah.
Questionable, you still play. Somehow, some way, you're still on the field. So I would think in the case.
With Cousins, when he returns, it's not going to be for much, at least for relevant minutes.
He's going to be there for a breather.
Especially where you do have, if you're looking for your bigs. Andrew Bogut, he's definitely not reliable. But
He's
I
a 10-minute guy.
Kevon Looney, where he's starting to feel the rhythm a bit, getting into that big man role, playing as a consistent center right now for the Golden State Warriors. Even Steve Kerr has kind of addressed that of saying, yes, he's kind of building himself out into being a key piece right now, a key player for us. So right now, if you do get DeMarcus Cousins back in the NBA Finals at a point in time, that game that he does return, I would anticipate he's only in there for maybe 5, 6, 7, maybe you're pushing it with 10 minutes in total in that entire contest. Because, who knows what his conditioning is going to be like? What is his health status? At least what is his kind of quote-unquote health percentage, as we always put percentages on these things. But be curious to see if it does come to light. Right now for DeMarcus, it's amazing that we're talking about the potential that he's could come back and play, where at the beginning when he did tear that, it was, oh no, he's done for months. He was going to be gone once again.
Well, and if you remember, and we've seen the torn quadriceps before, watching WWE. And again, I'm just throwing that out there. Triple H, he was in a match once where he tore his quadriceps, and he still finished the match. But you could tell he was in obvious pain, and basically, you
run off of adrenaline at that point. Where
and you're going off the script, but you're also telling, when you get into your clinches, you say, hey, let's just end this thing now. I'm in a lot of pain, and then they carried him off. But the thing is, when this thing is torn. But and he ended up having surgery on that.
Yeah.
You're looking at Boogie Cousins. We're not saying that his injury was not bad, but again, a torn quadriceps is what it is. I would venture to say at the end of the season that Boogie probably will undergo some season-ending surgery. Yeah, because this is something that just doesn't mend itself back together.
It's just amazing that they haven't addressed it and said, hey, let's get you under the knife now and just kind of keep it as a wash, that they're still at least tossing out the possibility. So, again, the extent of the injury, will it need surgery? I would assume so. You would think with something like that it has to happen for DeMarcus, but maybe it is something that is not as serious as they originally thought. Maybe it is something that can just kind of mend itself. Who knows at this point in time? But it kind of makes me wonder as well, too, of the seriousness of this injury where they didn't just kind of shut him down and say, yeah, just say goodbye to the playoffs and just get healthy and look forward to next season if you're still with us or wherever you may land in the NBA. It's just very interesting right now. But obviously, again, they got time. They got a lot of pieces right now for Golden State that can use the time off, and they're getting.
You know it as well as I do with Iguodala being back. That right there makes life a lot easier for Steve Kerr. Getting Boogie.
Well, you're adding back your best defensive player.
Yeah, well,
or at least one of the best.
Boogie is kind of like whipped cream, and if KD gets the okay, which I would venture to say, Nick, and I might be wrong here, I would think by the weekend we'll probably know if Kevin Durant will be even a factor in the playoffs.
Once we get closer to the NBA Finals, absolutely. I would not doubt that we have some sort of time frame, timetable, understanding of, okay, here's where KD's at, here's where DeMarcus is at, this is where the team status for the Golden State Warriors is for Game 1 of the NBA Finals versus whoever it may be. Yeah, absolutely. I would not doubt we get that timetable. It's just curious. It'll be interesting to see of what is this team going to look like in Game 1 and throughout this series? Will they elevate and get those main pieces back, or is it something that we have to deal without and continue on and get the championship kind of the old-fashioned way as Golden State had to do, at least in year 1? So,
well, let's keep it at the NBA. 3 finalists for the NBA MVP award. Greek Freak, James Harden, Paul George led the balloting for the all-NBA teams, which was announced by...
It goes to Giannis. There's no doubt about it.
Milwaukee's Giannis and Oklahoma City's George were named to the 2 forward spots on the first team. Steph Curry of Golden State. No Klay Thompson. Joined Houston's Hardens at the guard. That's a tough one right there. Denver Nuggets center. Nikola Jokic rounds out the first team as Giannis and Harden were unanimous selections.
I am not upset or surprised that Klay is not on first team. Would Klay Thompson, at least of this season where he didn't have – it wasn't a phenomenal season for Klay Thompson. Yes, he's a part of Golden State, so you would assume, but you look what happened with kind of the at least defensive players or at least the all-defense team. For Klay, I don't think he had a season that was good enough to make it to the first team.
He didn't even make it on the second or the third team. Let me run it down here. The second team consists of Damian Lillard, Kyle Irving at guard, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Kawhi Leonard at forward, and Joel Embiid at center.
Very surprised with the shocking thing is KD on number 2. But also, too, this is all relative. It's something that's
about winning rings. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, again, all first team, second team, third team, it's a bonus, but I would doubt that they probably get a little bonus money for being a part of those teams, I would assume. But other than that, though, it is something of who cares?
How about this? You heard a name that there's one name I haven't mentioned. LeBron James.
LeBron does not deserve to be on.
He got on the third team.
He doesn't deserve to even be there.
Along with Russell Westbrook and Kemba Walker at guard, Blake Griffin at forward, and Rudy Gobert at center.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I mean,
the Kemba Walker thing, at least on third team, that's a little bit surprising. If we're breaking this down for whatever reason,
as opposed
he
to
had a good season with Charlotte, where he should have gotten a little bit more respect, but. I mean, other than that, though, again, the first, second, third, it's just fun little talk for at least players there in the league.
Or as part of your contract, if you make – again,
if you bonus money possibly.
If you look at NBA contracts, if you make the playoffs, you get X amount of dollars. If you win the championship, you get X amount of dollars. If you are named to the All-Star team, you get X amount of dollars, or at any time being an All-NBAer. So, again, these are all the little bonuses that your agent puts in your contracts. So, but I think in this
case, is it some controversy
I think Klay Thompson was mistakenly overlooked.
I really don't think so. Again, Klay, it was not a phenomenal year for Klay Thompson.
It was a good year.
It was a solid year, but again, as you're listing some of those names, I would probably put a majority of them before Klay Thompson of what he did this season. Again, Klay was not lights out, at least consistent for the Golden State Warriors this year where he had slumps. he would get out of it and have a phenomenal back-to-back games where he's putting up 40 points or having, a great night, but it wasn't consistent. So I get it why he was left off first, second, and third teams, because it was just he was inconsistent this year. Let's be honest. He was for Golden State of their route to get to the number 1 seed, get to the playoffs. Your two entities, or at least I'll even toss out 3. Number 1 was Kevin Durant. Number 2 was Steph Curry. And then right behind them, number 3 would be Draymond Green. That's who I would have those 3 entities. Okay. And then it's pretty much a toss-up of Andre Iguodala as your number 4, at least key player. When Boogie did at least get healthy, he was a good factor. Definitely not kind of main reasons why Golden State got wins throughout the season. And again, also too, you toss in that conversation of who kind of contributed to the Warriors this year. Klay Thompson's kind of on that tail end of, again, he had some nights he didn't. He was kind of the peaks and valleys guy throughout of where he just wasn't consistent. So I get it, and I'm not going to throw up my arms and go, well, it's a sham or it's a crime. No, it really isn't.
You think about this, though, too, you're talking about bonus monies, and you look back at what Steph did last season. He signed that Supermax contract. Mm-hmm. So by being named to the All-NBA team, Giannis, let me see, I had it down here, too. It looks like Damian Lillard and Kemba Walker are also now eligible because they're all free agents. And I do believe Lillard is going to re-sign with Portland. I think they're going to re-sign him in July.
See.
I think so. So with 2020 free agency beginning, with Giannis still having 1 year remaining on his current contract, while another team will be able to sign him, the Bucks can't present him with a 5-year contract extension that is expected to be worth, you ready for this? A league record, $247 million. That is your Supermax contract.
Which I think he deserves. Cow. Again, you're talking about a potential NBA MVP, and I think he should. I think for Giannis, he definitely deserves to be the MVP of the league of what he did.
50 mil?
Yeah, I think he deserves that money. I really do.
Wow.
I think he is an up-and-coming superstar. Where we get into these lists and ranks and all this fun stuff, he's definitely behind KD. He's definitely behind LeBron James, but he's kind of elevating himself where he's kind of establishing as one of the dominant players right now in the association. So, and for Milwaukee, it makes sense to lock down this guy, get him that Supermax, because he is the face of your franchise. He's the reason why Milwaukee is no longer terrible out there in the Eastern Conference. He's the reason why you got the number 1 seed and the reason why your teams potentially could be going to the NBA Finals as well. So, yes, it might be record, it might be big money. Does he deserve it? I think so. And I think it would be smart for Milwaukee to give him that money, because without him, Milwaukee has nothing.
Now, if he decides to stay with the Pelicans, Anthony Davis already is eligible for that Supermax. And again, it's with the team you're currently with.
Like I said, the draft is going to be the biggest thing.
Let me ask you this. Is Anthony Davis about money, or is he about winning? Because, again, there was a time when his name was tossed about going to the Warriors, and he didn't want anything to do with it. Remember?
Yeah, and again, if he's about winning, that's the place you want to be right now. So is it about money? Again, Anthony Davis, who doesn't really have the endorsements, he might in New Orleans, but he's not kind of nationally known. Like, for instance, again, LeBron, that paints his picture on everything. Steph has got, all these endorsement deals on the national side. Maybe that is what is on the mind of Anthony Davis, of trying to get that money or trying to be a part of something. But you got to wonder as well, too, that I wonder if Anthony Davis and his thought process is, hey, I do want to get paid. I do want to win. But maybe he saw the Golden State route of, that's the easy route. I'm not going to go that way. I'm going to join LeBron and work with this young team, but have a shot where I don't right now in New Orleans. That could be the possibility. But like I said, the NBA draft upcoming, it's going to be the biggest factor in what's going to happen this offseason of what New Orleans does, who's going to be aggressive. Will L.A. be aggressive in that draft to say, here's our pick, here's this, and this?
I don't know.
We'll grab Anthony Davis.
Not after
I don't know.
Not after what Magic Johnson said. I was reading up stuff of Dr. Jerry Buss. We'll talk about that more in the 4 o'clock hour. But anyway,
we're already there.
Well, I know, but I mean, when we get done with our next guest, because we are expected to be talking to Dustin Lee, the Pine Bluffs High School track and field head coach. So we're going to get a chance to chat with him coming up in just a little bit. But first, we got to do some business. We'll be right back.
This is 1480 KRAE Cheyenne.
Also being heard on translator K266CC Cheyenne at 101.1 FM.
What you are about to hear is a sports talk radio show unlike any other that has ever before been broadcast in the capital city of Cheyenne, Wyoming, USA. This is Cheyenne, Wyoming's Sports Talk Authority. The Wyoming Cowboys, the Denver Broncos, the Colorado Rockies, and the Denver Nuggets. The show is local, it's regional, and yes, the show is national as well. Wyoming Sports Talk Today is on the air. If they're talking sports on the radio in Cheyenne, this is the place it happens. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today.
And welcome to hour number 2 of Wyoming Sports Talk Today. Larry Proetti, along with Nick Proetti. Let's get into...
Yeah, if you're wondering what that hacking was...
That was me. I apologize. You're the guy in charge of the buttons across the way there.
Well, I didn't think... Yeah, again, it takes 15 seconds to get into that.
Do you realize what kind of surgery I've had? You know what I've been going through?
I do not want to hear the excuses.
Give me a break. Mars Plumbing Heating. We want to thank them at 1515 Logan Avenue on the job 24/7. We also want to thank Mondello's Pizzeria at 1507 Stillwater Avenue. Sweet D in the Greenway Commons. Now across the street. Oh, by the way, you can enjoy Joe's delicious cuisine 7 days a week. How about First Year Bank directly across the street at 1508 Stillwater Avenue, open Monday through Friday. We have Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. Family owned, family operated for a quarter century, founded by Dick Lennox, and his daughter Heather continues on that Lennox name and that Lennox tradition. Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center. Medicap Pharmacy, same location as always, so again, don't hesitate. You need something on the medication side, always see our good friends at Medicap Pharmacy. Bluegrass Circle next door to Texas Roadhouse, open Monday through Saturday. Platte Valley Bank ×2. Banking done over on the north side on Vanda High, and that's the original location. The east side location right there at the corner of College and Pershing. Kia of Cheyenne. Maybe this is the weekend you get a chance to kick a few tires, take a test drive. Well, go do it over at Kia Cheyenne because the Kia family of 2019s are on the lot looking for new homes, and they'd love to be in your driveway maybe this weekend. Kia of Cheyenne on Nation Way. Chick-fil-A at the corner of Windmill and Delrange, directly across from Powersfield or Menards. Ray and Cindy's Place. Again, go to CheyenneChicken.com. Check out what they could do for a cater-out. And again, if you are a business, they'll even come in and do the cater-outs for your business. But we got graduation coming up, end of school year functions. Get a hold of Chick-fil-A right now. Let them come and cater to the party for you. Chick-fil-A of Cheyenne, Windmill, and Delrange open Monday through Saturday. Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service over on Highway 30, exclusive home for Jayco RVs, fifth wheels, travel trailers, and some great financing packages in place right now, along with great prices. You will get a steal of a deal always when you shop at Jolly Rogers RV Sales and Service. And we want to thank Taco John's of Cheyenne for a limited time, and it is there for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we're talking about their sirloin steak burrito. It is so good. Taco John's of Cheyenne. We go first to Nick, which he'll send it right back to me. So I'll get just a very quick chance to get a splash in. But we go to Nick first with our scoreboard. It's being brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
Nothing on the local side, nothing on the NHL side due to at least Stanley Cup final between St. Louis and Boston happening this Monday. But as we look down, at least for hockey action on the AAA level in the American Hockey League, game number 4 happening tonight between the Charlotte Checkers and the Toronto Marlies, where Toronto will be hosting that game. A series, at least in the Eastern Conference Final in the American Hockey League, as a fight for the Calder Cup. That is a series that is at least leading right now, at least by the Charlotte Checkers over the Toronto Marlies. So that game is happening tonight. Recapping from yesterday's contest in the Western Conference Final down in the American Hockey League. San Diego, the Gulls at home, took care of business against the Chicago Wolves, winning that contest 3-2 as they lead that series 2-1. So that's what's happening in the American Hockey League tonight.
We go to Major League Baseball. There are a lot of matinee performances right now. Bottom of the 9th inning in Chicago at Wrigley Field. Cubs are losing to the Phils 9-6. Top of the 8th, Giants holding on to a 4-2 lead against Atlanta at Oracle Park. Top of the 6th inning, Angels in SoCal. This is a makeup game with the Twins after being rained out last night. Twins lead 8-2 over the Halos. Finals that are in the books. The Mets have defeated the Nationals 6-4. Pirates clubbed the Rockies 14-6 at PNC. Yankees get by the Orioles 6-5 at Camden Yards. The Bo Sox beat the Blue Jays in the Rogers Center 8-2. Marlins have defeated the Tigers 5-2 at Comerica. Just a couple of games left on the slate. Matter of fact, getting underway in a couple of minutes. It will be the Rays at the Indians at Progressive Field. White Sox Astros at Minute Maid at 6:10. And we do have one NBA game on the slate for tonight. It is Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. That will be the Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, as the Bucks will play host to the Toronto Raptors. And again, that series knotted up at 2 games apiece. Our scoreboard brought to you by Pepsi of Cheyenne.
This is the Pepsi that's got a date with your taste buds. We're talking 1,000.
Yard. A family tradition since 1977. Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company, open 7 days a week, all season long, on North Yellowstone Road in Cheyenne. Right now it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals, as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with a chance of rain showers with highs around 43. For tonight, it'll be cloudy once again with a chance of snow showers with lows around 31. On Friday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 60. And on Friday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 37.
Got something to say? Then get it off your chest right now. Phone lines are open at 307-514-1071. Make your opinion count and call the show. Wyoming Sports Talk today.
Welcome back to Wyoming Sports Talk today. Hour number 2, we get to bring on our next guest. He is Dustin Lee, the head coach of the Pine Bluffs High School track and field team for both the boys and girls. And, Coach, we welcome you on. And as we understand, today's the last day of school, so it's time to clean up the office and get everything all put away and get ready for next season, huh?
That is correct. Cleaning up the classroom and putting away uniforms right now. So,
well, first off,
kind of exciting to get the last day here. All the kids are out, but I don't know. Teachers might have beat some of the students out of the school today. Well, that might be the truth.
Well, we do want to say congratulations on a state championship. And again, it doesn't matter what class, whether it's 4A, 2A, it doesn't matter. A state flag in your community, especially at your high school, is going to be very well received once it gets to fly in the gymnasium.
Well, and especially a state flag that is a long time coming for Pine Bluffs. Again, first state title on the girls' side for Pine Bluffs since 2004. So, again, from both of us at least, Coach, congratulations on your team getting that state title.
Thank you very much. We're really excited to be able to put that banner up and look forward to actually doing that next school year sometime, get the girls back and have a proper celebration with them.
You know, you are in a unique situation, especially in Pine, where you get student athletes that, in some cases participate in 3 sports, and you get them finally for track and field. So a lot of your student athletes, and again, more guys than the ladies, but come to you pretty much in good shape because they're in shape all year round.
Absolutely, although there is certainly a different shape from the hardwood or even the wrestling mat in the 400. That just looks a little different for some of those kids. That first couple of weeks, they find soreness and muscles that they forgot they even had.
Just like it is over here in Cheyenne, over in Pine, and Burns, and every other school, along I-80, even going into Nebraska over to Kimball, we got to deal with weather. So a lot of track and field activity takes you indoors. So what can you possibly, and again, I know you don't have the big facilities like the 4A schools here, but what do you do to compensate when we have awful weather outside?
Well, being in Wyoming, definitely in the track and spring, you have to be creative when you go inside, and we do. We have, our new elementary school's got some great stairs that the kids really enjoy going over and running up and down. A lot of our field event stuff we can do. We have indoor shot puts, and even some discus made up that we can get some work in with them without actually throwing them. Hurdles I can bring inside. And we even have a fake box for pole vault where kids can do some approaches and at least hit into that plant box to try to work on some step. But you definitely have to be creative, and to be quite honest with you, we just have been in Wyoming long enough. We know we tough it out. So to be quite honest with you, rain, snow, we've been out there doing it all.
Coach,
I like that answer.
I was going to say, Coach, you got to remind me of I think it was like the 1989 movie that starred Clint Eastwood, Heartbreak Ridge. You got to adapt, you got to improvise, right?
Absolutely. So, and our kids, we got tough kids. I mean, they've been doing this all the time. So when you start talking track, of course, you start talking snowstorms, and so they get ready to go for it. They know when they go to a track meet, they have sunscreen, they have heavy winter coats, they have rain slickers, they have it all because they know they can, just like at the state meet this year, they can see every type of weather. So they're prepared for that. We prepare them pretty well for that. So.
As we get at least a recap from you, Coach, again, thank you for joining us here today to talk about your teams. But both, at least on the girls and boys side for Pine Bluffs, made it at least to the state. Again, with the girls at least getting the state championship. On the boys side, at least finishing 5th, so at least placing there. But just give us a recap of the season of how we got to where we were, at least for at least the state events for both the boys and girls.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming into the season, we knew we had great opportunities to get into the trophies at the state meet, which is the top 4 placings can take home a trophy. And on the guys' side, we knew Bighorn would be strong. They state champs in football, and there's this wonderful program they got going up there with Kirk McLaughlin. And we knew that they were going to be tough, and as we got the season going, we saw that. In fact, I kind of had them doubling up second place prior to the state meet. They didn't quite do that, but they came pretty close. So our goal was to be in that top 4 so we could bring home a trophy. And heading into state, we really looked like that was going to be a great possibility, hitting up 4th and possibly even 3rd if things went our way. But that's how track and field is. Sometimes things go your way and sometimes they don't. And unfortunately, we had a couple false starts in preliminaries. We had a dropped baton in our 4x1. And those three little things were just enough to keep us, we're about 8.5 points or so away from the fourth place bid. So that was kind of unfortunate, but of course there was a lot of other great successes. We had Tucker Norman win in the disc and then go in second place with James Merrifield there. Seth Tangeman doing a wonderful job on the sprints. In fact, in the 100, in the 200, he actually had the same exact time as second place kid. But when you looked at the picture, the other kid had him by they said an Adam's apple. That's what they beat him by. So just wonderful kids doing really good things, of course. But just weren't able, like I said, a couple little things happen, and you lose out on some points really quickly. In fact, that's kind of how the boys won their state championship a few years ago. Thermopolis had a great 400 runner, and he false started in the preliminaries, and that was the difference between us taking state and them not. And that's just track. You're going to have some good and some bad and a lot in between. Kind of a roller coaster ride.
Well, as we're talking about the good and the bad, and we focus at least on the girls' side as we got the recap on the boys, but again, your girls, especially there at state, out of the blocks, kind of just started off very strong, had a great beginning, at least a few days there for Pine Bluffs. But just talk about at least the state, at least tournament for your girls, and again, for that state title.
Absolutely. And on the girls' side, we knew we were strong. We just wanted to stay healthy, which, you kind of talked about kids coming into track all in shape and stuff, and that is true, but they also have long seasons. We've predominantly been in state tournaments and state playoff games, so there can be some overuse injuries, and so that was our goal, is keep kids healthy, keep them working hard, and we were able to do both those things, get to the state meet, and our goal, we knew going in, we were really strong. And the reason we were strong is not only did we have some of the top studs, but we were deep. We really were deep with athletes, had a lot of freshmen and sophomores step up, maybe not be able to be individual high place winners, but we could get some nickel and dime points at the 7th and 8th and 6th, and then definitely put those kids on relays where upperclassmen were on, and I could pull those upperclassmen off and throw them in individual events and get some points, and then the relays not lose any points. So that was really how our depth was really, really big part of our success. For sure this year. And then, of course, just top athletes like Jordan Cirinel just doing well in the jumps. In every event, she just excelled. Had a PR 4 inches in her high jump. Maddie Fornstrom, another hurdler and pole vault for us. And just some really great athletes at the top that really made a big difference. And our goal going in was by Friday night, because we knew our strongest events are usually the field events, predominantly here in Pine Bluffs for years and years. And that was again this year. And our goal was, we knew we'd only have one field event on Saturday. So we really wanted to put the pedal to the metal and go home or go to the hotel Friday night knowing we scored a ton of points, and it's going to be really hard for anyone to catch us. And luckily, actually kind of coincidentally, they did every field event on by Friday just because the weather was so bad Saturday. So we had all our field events done. And going into Saturday, we more or less put second place. Impossible to catch us. Maddie Fornstrom ran the hurdles that morning, and we just needed her to place 6th or higher, and we had it locked up, and she got second, and we knew we were in the gold. So that was pretty awesome. We just wanted to get up there and show off our talent, and those girls, they did it. They absolutely did it. It was fun to watch.
We're talking with Dustin Lee, Pine Bluffs High School track and field head coach. I'm glad you mentioned Maddie Fornstrom. In my 33 years here in this part of the world, I've heard that name quite a bit out of Pine Bluffs High School. So again, this is a family rich in tradition with basically all sports, and it's almost like the ones that graduate, they eventually get married, and the second generation is now going through Pine Bluffs High School.
Yep, great athletes, great students, great kids, great family, and we'll take every single one that comes back. I guarantee you that.
Now, Pine Bluffs is a very small community by standards. Again, you coach, you have a feel of how many student athletes are going to come out from your classes. Do you get that opportunity to get down to the junior high kids that are coming up through the schooling ranks and get a chance to talk to them, saying, "Hey, we would love to have you come out"? How do you keep that interest amongst all the kids as they eventually get a year older?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I'll talk I think we have 116 or 120 kids, 9-12, and girls and boys. We had 56 kids out for track at the beginning of the year this year. So we get a lot of kids out. And then I believe our junior high was at about 23 or 5 this year, as far as the amount of athletes. And they warm up with us. We put all those kids, all the junior high coaches and junior high kids join the high school coaches and kids, and we all warm up together. And then, of course, we all have the same track. So they head out just a little sooner than we do out on the track. But we're side by side with the junior high coaches teaching the field events and doing the sprints. And so absolutely. I teach Spanish and have junior high kids. And so I'm talking, of course, promoting the sport in class. So absolutely, we have a great opportunity to recruit those kids to come and join our program. And very often we are, for many years till this year, I was actually helping the pole vault and being their primary coach there. So yeah, we work side by side with their coaches and their kids, and that definitely helps our programs. Like I said, 56 was our number this year, and I attribute that to the relationships we create with those junior high kids.
Final thought for me, Coach, and again, we want to thank you for joining us here. As we had our East High soccer coach on, who also helps out at LCCC. What happens for Dustin Lee now that school is out? Summer's here. Do you get a chance to go out and throw out the pole into the water, do a little fishing?
Absolutely. Actually, I'm going to be a dad. That's my summer job. I got a 10, 6, and 2-year-old sons, and that's the plan. It's how many camping trips we can get in and Rockies games. So that's and I guess also I got to finish a basement. So that's kind of my summer. And then, helping out wherever we can to keep our kids keep coming back for track and football and volleyball and everything, getting some summer work in with them. So.
All right, Coach, well, thanks so much for joining us on Wyoming Sports Talk today. That was Dustin Lee, the Pine Bluffs High School track and field coach, and matter of fact, state champion head coach on the ladies' side. As you mentioned earlier, Nick, 2004 was the last
time.
The last banner that was hung there for the Lady Hornets. So congratulations again. Exciting times here, both, as we always say here in Cheyenne, but when you get to do these little schools in the county that have these little, how do I use the word? When they have these opportunities to win these, state championships, whether it's football, whether it's basketball, it's big news, and these little communities really embrace it. And again,
you rally around those high schools, especially where, in Pine Bluffs, that's all you got out there. Again, where compared to here in Cheyenne, we got 3 to kind of split time between, but again, it is something you rally around. It is something where you find enjoyment, and you want your teams to be successful, especially what Pine Bluffs is seeing. Pine Bluffs right now is becoming kind of the mecca right now in Class 2A. We see that in basketball, especially with the men's and women's basketball getting to the state tournament, potentially.
They're a little running football.
Yeah, running football. Again, football should be pretty good as well. They keep kind of consistent out there. Again, as Coach also mentioned, again, they're just looking right now of competing with Bighorn, who's a pretty formidable outfit in Class 2A.
But they're right by Sheridan. So, we sit here and we say Cheyenne, and then 36 miles down the road, it's Pine Bluffs. You've got Sheridan, and just a few miles away is the small community of Bighorn. But they're like Sheridan. They've been a powerhouse for the longest time that I know of.
Yeah, they certainly have. And again, Pine Bluffs is kind of establishing that. We're certainly seeing it here in the city of Cheyenne. Again, teams at least getting recognition, getting to that state tournament, if not the state championships. We certainly see it with girls, at least in the basketball, getting those banners. Boys getting to those championship games, unfortunately kind of falling short. Football, East getting, East has gotten those banners, gets to the playoffs, is trying to get back into the winning ways over there with Chad Goff. Central kind of rebuilding, South as well, trying to build up into that kind of prestigiousness. But
trying to fill their trophy cases,
yeah, certainly. Again, we know with Cheyenne East volleyball, they've been successful in recent years. So again, here kind of in town, but also here in the county, here in the state of Wyoming, at least in our little small, at least corner here, kind of establishing, some prestige in athletics between the kind of 4 high schools, and we'll even toss 5 with Burns.
Again, anytime that one of our schools, as you say here, from even Cheyenne and 80 East, one of our schools gets that opportunity to call themselves state champions, it's big news. Again, and these are the things too. And I said this when I remember coaching your sister when we were doing fast pitch, even on the rec side. When you win a state championship, no one can ever take that away from you. You may have the little medal and it says state champions of 2000 whatever. That's something that no one can ever take away. And you know it too when you were part of football over at Cheyenne East. I think you guys were runner-up your junior year. Well, if I remember looking in that trophy case there, you got a trophy for it, and your name is etched on that trophy.
Runner-up sophomore and junior. Sophomore lost to Central, junior lost to Campbell County.
Campbell County. But my point, what I'm saying is, your name is on that trophy, and it's going to be etched there until the school does not exist anymore.
Yeah.
So, again, that's something that no one can ever take away. And to those young student athletes, as we talked with Cheyenne Central earlier this week, and now most recently with Dustin Lee at Pine Bluffs, these young women are state champions, and no one can ever take that away. And I think that's kind of a neat deal.
But also, too, being as a state champion, whether it is Class 4A to Class 1A, it is something as well as we kind of push and what we talk about and get these head coaches on the high school level. Again, the end goal is to get your student athletes kind of in that spotlight or move them on to that next level in their respective sports. Again, that state championship, getting those state titles, doing something, especially in track and field, being a part of that, at least cumulative effort, it puts you out there of, okay, here's JUCO products or JUCO schools that might be looking, or possibly, again, D1, D2, D3s, absolutely, of, okay, this team won the state championship. They must be good for a reason to win that state title. Let's take a look at these student athletes. So, again, it means on multiple levels of what it does, not just for the community, but also, too, again, for those student athletes, where it gives them that opportunity to get more looks.
Well, and you look over
on.
in Pine Bluffs, 80 miles to the west is the University of Wyoming. They still do track and field.
Yeah.
So, they're always looking for student athletes as such that come in with, high marks. Hey, whether they're a field.
Well, whether it's University of Wyoming, I wouldn't doubt up north in Sheridan. I wouldn't doubt Sheridan State probably does track and field as well up there. Again, you have opportunities around here to continue on.
Yeah, but I'm just saying most JUCOs probably don't have track and field programs. I'm just saying. But your 4-year institutions, like, again, here you go to UW, you got Chadron State, you got Creighton, you got Nebraska, down in Colorado, UNC, I would imagine CSU, University of Colorado. Again, opportunities could arise for some of these student athletes that are very good in track and field events. We're going to take a timeout. We're going to come back. We got more after these words here on 1480 KRAE.
At Medicap Pharmacy, we concentrate on nothing but your medications and your health. Each location is a locally owned full-service neighborhood pharmacy. We won't make you walk through aisles and aisles of stuff or wait in a long line. Instead, we'll always make time for you by listening, answering your questions, and explaining your prescriptions.
Medicap Pharmacy. We'll always make time for you.
Medicap Pharmacy, 1947 Bluegrass Circle, next to Texas Roadhouse in Cheyenne. Or call 635-3712.
Taco John's presents Olay the Day Pep Talks.
Human history has shown anything is possible with inspiration and hard work. The 4-minute mile, a man on the moon, a water skiing squirrel, and now sirloin steak burritos from Taco John's.
Sirloin steak burritos are back at Taco John's. Stuffed with hand-carved sirloin steak and bold flavors like the melty, savory grilled cheese steak burrito, plus steak and shrimp or steak and potato olays. And for the morning, 2 steak and egg breakfast burritos. Sirloin steak burritos are back, but only for a limited time. Olay the day at Taco John's.
MHP is a certified public accounting and consulting firm located in both Cheyenne and Fort Collins, offering accounting, tax, and consulting services to businesses, not-for-profit, government, and individual clients. MHP takes pride in their commitment to providing close, personal attention to their clients. They also continue to invest time and resources in continuing education, state-of-the-art computer technology, and valuing their relationships with you. MHP is a proud supporter of local and UW athletics. MHP, 314 West 18th Street, or call 634-2151. Your locally owned and operated radio stations, KYOI-FM and 1480 KRAE AM, are just that, local. Serving Cheyenne and Laramie County, where your advertising dollar stays local too. It doesn't end up in Colorado, Oklahoma, New Hampshire, or even New York. We conduct business here. We shop here, and we live here. And we support our entire community 24/7, 365. Just because it has a window dressing doesn't mean it isn't a facade. A reminder from KYOI and 1480 KRAE. First Tier Bank strives to remain competitive and offers some of the best CD rates in the community, as well as area banks and credit unions per Rate Watch reports. How does that make a difference to you? First Tier Bank can assist you in securing some of the best rates on CDs. First Tier Bank offers the personalized customer service you've grown accustomed to and deserve. Plus, feel confident that your finances are taken care of by a responsible, knowledgeable staff. Call 307-632-3500 and ask for Caitlin or Debbie. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you're looking for fun and style, then the new 2019 Kia Optima has what you need. And here at Kia of Cheyenne, we can help you own one. I'm AJ Miller, and the 2019 Kia Optima will reward your daily drive with comfort, performance, and advanced engineering. Kia Optima technology, your phone allows access to remote lock or unlock, climate control, 24-hour roadside assistance, and much more. Come in, call 775-0123, or go to KiaofCheyenne.com. We'll make it easy.
Here the season never ends. From Wyoming sports to the Broncos in Denver. From Rockies baseball to talking hoops with Nuggets basketball. Local, regional, and national. This is Wyoming Sports Talk Today, right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Thank you once again to Dustin Lee, Pine Bluffs High School track and field head coach, for joining us earlier. We had Rebecca Valdez, the head coach of the Cheyenne East Ladies Thunderbirds soccer team, with us. I was trying to do the multitasking thing here, Nick. No, I was going back and forth because I'm still on the basketball side here. Because when we were talking about the Warriors and what have you, and then we were going through the All-NBA team, I was looking here. By Klay Thompson not being added to the All-NBA team, that's going to probably cost him on the Supermax contract. Just saw that here. They just printed it up. He was expected, as he's a free agent this year, to get a 5-year deal in the neighborhood of $221 million. Now that he was not mentioned as an All-NBA, his Supermax can only be worth 5 years at $191 million only.
I mean, yes, it is. We're talking millions. Granted, the guy's already got millions. Oh well.
$38 million a year. Oh well.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Again, I think he's gonna be set in stone. But let's be honest. Though, again, Klay Thompson I don't think he deserved to be on the first team, second or third.
I realize that, but I'm just looking through how much by not being named. This is all in place via the union, players' union, with the NBA. And again, this is how all these monies get bounced around to these various
it's good
teams.
for the Golden State Warriors because you don't have to spend more and worry about luxury tax and all that other stuff.
And I'm sure, and again, if you are playing for the Warriors, I'm sure some things will be written into Klay's contract to possibly make up the monies that he might be losing here.
Well, that's up to his agent of what he does with that. But like I said, does Klay Thompson deserve to be on those three, at least, first team, second team, third team? Again, listing off those names and just going off the body of work of what he did this season. Again, it's based off of what he's done this year. No, he doesn't deserve it. He really didn't deserve to be on one of those teams, and rightfully so. Again, the guy was inconsistent this entire season. And it is what it is. So, hey, obviously his teammates and himself, it's going to be upsetting. But, get over it. If anything,
And I think he will.
I would hope so. But like I said, it's such a minute thing of, okay, you're missing out $38 million. Oh, well, I mean, you'll survive, Klay Thompson. You'll be fine. And if anything, use that as fuel to improve yourself next year. Use it as a chip on your shoulder to, say, hey, I deserve to be on one of those teams, if not the first team. Get after it. That's all I can say. Like I said, it's such a minute thing for me personally of reading into this and just understanding. It is one of the biggest things of why do we care? It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If anything, like I said, it matters to the teams and just that financial. And like I said, it's probably better for Golden State if they are able to re-sign him, which they should. And Clay should accept that deal, I would assume. If anything, it's better for Golden State to avoid luxury tax and avoid just maxing out and spending extra money. Granted, they got plenty of money, but it saves them a buck or two. So,
all right, well, I want to go back here, and we'll keep it on the basketball note too, because we mentioned it earlier this week. Tim Connolly has decided to stay with the Denver Nuggets, the president of basketball operations. And again, he was wooed by Ted Leonosis with the Washington Wizards after the Nuggets won 54 games last season.
Yeah.
So, Connolly was hired, I think it was as Denver's general manager in July 2013, and team president Josh Kroenke pretty much stayed patient with him. Connolly brought in Coach Michael Malone.
Yeah, I was going to say, he came after when they fired their GM of the year again. I can't remember his name, but they fired, again, when it was announced,
going after
GM of the
Coach,
year. Again, when you got rid of also too George Karl, when they cleared house after that 2012 season. So, he was part of the rebuild, and granted, here it is. It's culminating for the Denver Nuggets. But
So, he brought in Malone for the 2015-2016 season. They've steadily progressed from 33 wins in Malone's first year. And again, think about Malone. He was with Sacramento, and the Sacramento Kings weren't squad either.
Yeah.
They haven't been for many years. So he comes in, he hangs with Malone, and matter of fact, they even had a 34-7 home mark this year. But you look at the team as they get ready for the draft, and there's also free agency. And again, you and me have been discussing this. Who they would like to woo to come to Denver? I don't know. They've selected Jamal Murray. They've got him through the draft. Matter of fact, I think it was Michael Porter Jr.
You're missing that superstar, and you talk about a lot. Again, Anthony Davis could be out there.
Let me talk about it first.
Could they get KD? Could they get Clay? Could they get
let me
David?
finish with Michael Porter Jr. He sat out this season. He was recovering from back surgery, one of their prime drafts. But the biggest offseason decision remains what to do with veteran leader Paul Millsap. And the team holds a $30 million option, which can be restructured.
Yeah.
And now, you remember what KD did with the Warriors 2 seasons ago as he restructured his deal to allow Steph to get his paycheck.
Yeah.
So the question is, will Millsap be that same kind of basketball player, as you say, like an Anthony Davis, whoever they try to woo to come to Denver? And again, all you have to do is build around Jokic, and you're good to go. So
honestly, Nuggets can deal without Paul Millsap. I mean, let's be honest, he was
understandable.
I mean, they could deal with him and just go, hey, bye-bye. We had fun. To just say, all right, let's make an extra move, or at least extra kind of spacing to bring someone else in to be that superstar. I think Denver right now, they're missing that key piece. Obviously, Anthony Davis. You don't need that, especially when you have Jokic, again, your big man of what he's already doing, establishing himself as a superstar. But, maybe it is something that you look into with Damian Lillard. Maybe it is something you look into saying, hey, Klay Thompson, join us. Or is it something that, hey, Kevin Durant, take a look at the young core that we have in the Western Conference as well, part of the Northwest Division. Maybe you want to join in on that fun.
Is Denver more attractive now than it was in past summers?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. I think so. Could they land a big-time superstar? It's hard for me to believe, especially just being in that kind of smaller market that is Denver compared to, the Los Angeles, the Chicagos, and New Yorks, the Bay Areas of the world. I don't foresee in this offseason that they will land a big name, a well-known commodity on that free agent list. I just don't see it. But I think absolutely. I think they have their name in the hat for a potential and a possibility of it. But will it happen? I just don't see it right now. Denver, at least for some of these big-name superstars that are going to be free agents or are talking about getting traded and want a new, at least, outlook on life in their NBA careers, Denver, we'll see what happens. Will they be aggressive? Will they have that opportunity? Again, we talked about last year with the LeBron sweepstakes. Denver, for whatever reason, again, I thought it was a complete scam, and it clearly was because, again, LeBron eventually went to the LA Lakers, as everyone thought they were. But Denver, that name was brought up a few times during that offseason where, hey, LeBron's talked with them. LeBron could be going to the Denver Nuggets. What would the Denver Nuggets look like if they got LeBron? Again, that was a big piece in the offseason. We knew it was not going to be reality, and we had to kind of talk people out of that one. But I think this year, I think Denver has a good potential, but I just have a hard time seeing that it's going to happen this offseason. You have a good core right now with their starting five.
Right.
I think absolutely. I think you could build off of that, and they could do something special again next year. Possibly. Or was this a one-time just kind of fate for the Denver Nuggets, and next season they have an awful year? Only time will tell. Obviously, we know the body of work for Jokic. He's kind of trended northward, at least northward, year in and year out. So we know that he is established and that he is consistent, and he's very good, if not that superstar level right now in the NBA. But, Jamal Murray, what do you expect out of him? He had his issues throughout this season. He's kind of a little bit inconsistent. Paul Millsap with the injury, but also, too, he's inconsistent as well, too. Gary Harris, he's had his issues, but, it all worked out for the Denver Nuggets. So this offseason, I think for Denver, it would be smart for them to get a superstar to say, okay, now we can compete with you, Golden State. Because I think that's where if we had that opportunity in the Western Conference Final to put Denver versus Golden State, I think Golden State would probably sweep them as well too, if not take it a 5-game series. Nothing proved to me of Denver that was going to be competitive towards that Golden State team. If you add some big name, whoever it may be, I stop and pause and go, yes, now you have a shot, Denver. Now you have a shot to be the best team in the West because you have this entity, this established superstar that is known across the nation. But who that will be, if at all, it is the $1 million question right now for Denver. Will they be that aggressive? Or will they be that?
I think they will.
Are they going to be that pretty picture?
No, I think they will. And again, it goes back to the Magic story that has been on ESPN. And I mean, it was blistering of the Los Angeles Lakers of today. And if I'm LeBron James, because stop me if I'm wrong, not so much of Belinka, where Magic had his thoughts on that, but also too, if you read between the lines of what Magic's saying, he's throwing a lot of blame of the Lakers flubbing on LeBron James.
Yeah,
and is he going to be thrown up as trade bait? And again, LeBron can go anywhere he wants if he wants to go.
Yeah, he can be that ultimate decider. Nothing is showing indications that he wants to leave Los Angeles at this point.
But do you want to go somewhere where you can win now?
I mean, he's already won. I mean, he's got his championships. He did it with Cleveland, did it with Miami.
Win more? That's the question.
I think absolutely. I
mean, the Warriors want to win more.
Absolutely. I think for LeBron, he wants to do that. But is it something that he in the same vein as Anthony Davis, kind of looks at the situation in the NBA, especially there in the Western Conference, and goes, Kevin Durant got a lot of heat for taking the easy route of joining Golden State. That was an already established powerhouse. I wonder if, at least for LeBron, in his mind, he wants to kind of build up these teams, build up, like, for instance, again, what he did in Miami, taking a young Cleveland team and had entities put together and finally getting their championship, as much as that was a complete joke when they won their championship. But I think with LeBron, yes, he does want to win, but it sounds like, or at least this decision to go to at least Los Angeles, obviously there's outside factors as well, being there at least in LA. But it makes me wonder if he joined the Lakers because, hey, I don't want to take that easy route. I want to take the hard route. I want to be a part of a developing team and say, hey, I was a part of this to help bring back a winning culture.
But the thing is with the Lakers now, and this is where I was going to lead into, and I said this before in the program with Dr. Jerry Buss. When you listen to the Magic interview on ESPN, and again, you look at how the Lakers have fallen from grace, not because Dr. Jerry Buss died back in 2013, not because he owns 66% of the Lakers, and in his will.
And granted, that was a whole controversy in itself.
I know, but again, he had 6 children.
Yeah.
And each of the children got 11% of the shares. So what happens is his daughter, Jeannie, the plan of succession after he died, Jeannie was taken over as the Lakers governor. But what she did was try to keep that same Laker mentality that Dr. Buss has 10 championships being the owner of the Lakers.
Yeah.
And what she did was, hey, one of the old guards of the Lakers, who has been Laker purple and yellow all his life, Magic Johnson, she brings him in right away and basically entrusted the entire franchise to Magic. Well, Magic can only be stretched so far.
That's not a bad thing to do. Where we've seen other entities do that with their legends. We see that again where Jerry West, when he joined with Golden State, with I do believe with the LA Clippers. Again, former NBA great Larry Bird, part of the Indiana Pacers, of trying to bring him on. Again, see entities do that.
West didn't have that relationship with Dr. Buss because West took off for crosstown LA Clippers, and he took former Laker Elgin Baylor with him.
But I'm just saying, you've seen teams that do that to bring back some of those legends, those greats, those known commodities in the NBA, if not within their own franchise, and say, hey, help us out, or at least you know what to do. Let's get into a winning nature. We saw that in Indiana. Granted, we saw that a few seasons with Jerry West, at least in Golden State. Now seeing it right now with the LA Clippers. And I don't blame at least Jeannie Buss of what she, at least her thought process of bringing Magic Johnson. Guy who knows basketball probably just as well as, again, better than probably anyone on the planet. Yeah. And I would absolutely entrust him.
He wasn't a good coach. He was a great basketball player. Let's give him.
But he knows the game well, and he knows what to be successful.
But he also, in the ownership role, knows, or I should say, but in the president's role, he knows what needs to be. He knows brought forward.
Yeah, he does, because also too he's already got experience with that, as he's part of the ownership group, or at least involved with the LA Dodgers, a successful franchise in MLB,
and they're just getting better.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to throw this out here when I was looking up Dr. Jerry Buss. Did you realize that Dr. Jerry Buss, and you don't, I'm talking to our listeners out there, actually earned a scholarship to the University of Wyoming, graduating with a BS degree in 2.5 years back in 1953. And again, this man was an inventor. He was a chemist, great poker player. I mean, he was everything. He was a great businessman. And once he, and this is what I'm driving at, once he passed away in 2013, that was the actual time of the demise of the Lakers, if you think about it. Kobe Bryant's last legs.
I mean, they were bad in his last years. Again, Kobe's last year, they were pretty rough.
Yeah.
They were not. The Lakers have been bad for at least quite a while now.
It's been about a half dozen years they have been not good. All right, we do need to take our last time out, and we'll be back to wrap things up here in a couple of minutes on 1480 KRAE.
This is the time of year you will see motorcycles riding around town and on the highways. All motorists are reminded to safely share the road with motorcycles and bicyclists, and to be on the alert to keep these riders from harm. These could be your neighbors, your friend, or someone's mother or father. Motorcycles and bikes are cautioned to make themselves visible to other motorists. When you come to a stop, always look left and right before proceeding. This will help prevent an avoidable accident and will keep everyone safe. To all drivers on Wyoming roads, be mindful and vigilant. Paid for by Federal Highway Safety Funds.
Chick-fil-A is a proud supporter of our high school athletes at East, Central, and South. May the school year bring success to all of you. Before you start your day, stop by Chick-fil-A for a hearty, delicious, and satisfying breakfast. Only at Windmill and Del Range. Breakfast is served Monday through Saturday from 6 in the morning till 10:30 a.m. Breakfast with Chick-fil-A, the most important meal of the day, at Windmill and Del Range.
When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think authentic Italian. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think made fresh from scratch. When you say Mondello Pizzeria, think great pizza, delicious Philly cheesesteak, superb hot and cold Italian sandwiches, meatballs, sausage, and special subs, calzones, crisp salads, and great service. When you say Mondello's Pizzeria, think unmatched Italian taste. Mondello's Pizzeria, 1507 Stillwater Avenue, your only true Italian stop for lunch or dinner.
Check out the huge savings this week at Town & Country Supermarket Liquors. Here are just a few of the terrific weekly specials. Our Super Radio buys include Jose Cuervo Golden or Strawberry Golden Margarita, 1.75 liter bottle, $15.99. Jim Beam Bourbon, 1.75 liter bottle, $23.99. And Tecate or Tecate Light, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, $11.49. Town & Country Supermarket Liquors on the South Greeley Highway, Cheyenne's low-price leader. Spring is finally here and just arrived at Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company are the many varieties of Weeks roses now in the greenhouse. Also newly arrived in the greenhouse are the annuals, perennials, pansies, hanging baskets, tomatoes, veggies, and a lot more. Shop today where you know this year's growing season will be a plentiful one. From family owned and operated since 1977, Riverbend Nursery and Stone Company on Yellowstone Road in North Cheyenne. Now open 7 days a week all season long. Right now it's time to head over to Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service for low prices on outstanding RVs in Wyoming. Your local, exclusive Jayco dealer wants you to check out their closeout deals as well as their 2019 inventory of trailers, fifth wheels, and toy haulers. You can save up to 30% on select models with approved credit. You can find them at 6102 East Highway 30. Jolly Rogers RV Sales, Parts, and Service is a proud sponsor of LCCC men's and women's basketball, also our local high school teams too.
Here's the latest weather forecast on 1480 KRAE.
For today, it'll be cloudy with a chance of rain showers with highs around 43. If it's tonight, it'll be cloudy once again with a chance of snow showers with lows around 31. On Friday, it'll be mostly sunny with highs around 60. And on Friday night, it'll be mostly clear with lows around 37.
Tired of lazy and predictable sports talk radio? We know you are. This is Cheyenne's new sports radio home. It's Wyoming Sports Talk Today, and it's right here on AM 1480 KRAE.
Couple more things on my side of the fence before we wrap things up here, and it was announced on Wednesday. We want to get this out to you. Juwan Howard of the famed Fab Five as a Wolverines player from 91 through 1994 under head coach Steve Fisher back in the day. Juwan Howard has been named the head coach at his alma mater, Michigan. Now, unlike Jim Harbaugh, Juwan Howard, to me, the jury is definitely going to be out on him coaching at the collegiate level. And I'm talking a head coach. I'm not talking being assistant.
Well, I wonder if this is more so to kind of put butts in the seats or at least kind of appease a few fans there in Michigan of saying, hey, we got a local, at least a product of the system. He's going to bleed at least a Wolverine blue. Again, he knows what it takes to get it at least into that winning nature. Again, as we look in the Big Ten, Ohio State's obviously your dominant force, or at least, again, a consistent team. Michigan's trying to get into
Michigan State.
Yeah, I would say Michigan State's probably at least your top-tier team. But, I mean, I get it on a standpoint of, okay, hey, let's appease, fans.
Let's sell season tickets.
It's a familiar name, and maybe he'll help out or at least kind of push this team to better heights.
And you look at Harbaugh on the football side, where he's had success in the pros as well as on the collegiate side.
Yeah,
hasn't really brought them, the big national championship yet.
Well, he runs into the powerhouse that is Ohio State,
and Alabama. You go right down the list.
I'm just talking there in conference where, again, Michigan States of the world that are improving, Ohio State, that's always kind of a top tier. He ends up running into those entities that eventually stall out the Michigan team.
Am I right to say maybe 1 out of 10 former players develop into good coaches? Am I pretty close? Because, I mean, Magic wasn't a good coach.
You got Steve Kerr, who is.
Then you have
Phil Jackson, who is, or at least was.
Over at Georgetown, Patrick Ewing.
Yeah.
He didn't develop into a good coach. Jason Kidd has not been a good coach. So I Penny Hardaway, though, I will give him, I think he's okay at Memphis. But I just don't think Juwan Howard is going to be the guy to turn the program around at Michigan. I just don't see it.
Only time will tell on that one with the Wolverines, but they got a lot of hills to climb out there in the Big Ten, especially basketball-wise. Because, again, you're looking at a lot of good entities right now in the Big Ten, and a Big Ten that's getting more and more competitive right now to get those NCAA bids.
All right, final thought here from me. And we were talking off air, and Dominican Sue has left the Rams to go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I think the paycheck is going to be, I don't know, somewhere around, $9.2 million, $9.25 million. And this is the thing that we're going to say about Sue. And I think
who is a journeyman.
Yeah, again, Detroit, Miami, Los Angeles, and with Tampa. Good football player.
Oh, yeah.
Head case?
He certainly is.
How about an attitude?
He certainly has an attitude. Even going back to his days at the University of Nebraska, he certainly showed some of that kind of cockiness, that little attitude on the field playing with the Cornhuskers. Again, the infamous kind of stomp days in Detroit that at least got him away from the Lions. Had issues at Miami. L.A., yeah, there were some incidents. Trying to think, definitely kind of at least being a little rough after the whistle, just doing a little extracurricular activities
Tampa,
after the play.
I think in Tampa, and this is what I was saying to you before we came back from the break, I think it might be the perfect fit because there are a bunch of rogues down there anyway. They are a rudderless ship in Tampa.
I think if anything, if you're talking rogue-like team, it would be the Oakland Raiders at this point in time.
Well, that will be his last stop, probably.
Who knows at this point? Again, the guy is a journeyman, but he is a solid player. Let's be honest. Again, he's a top-tier
solid player, but he has nothing to show for it.
He's a defensive lineman, absolutely. He doesn't have anything to show for, but yeah, I think he is kind of getting that cancerous vibe to him of, okay, we know you have the talent. He had the talent, again, going all the way back to when he was playing for the University of Nebraska. You saw it with the Troy, Miami years, and now at least with L.A. and now heading into Tampa Bay. The guy has unbelievable talent. He could be one of the greats, and again, he's a phenomenal defensive lineman, but it does seem like he is that head case. He is, again, maybe put him on a parallel to Draymond Green where he wears his emotions on the sleeve. Again, he is very open. Again, he can get a little aggressive.
But Draymond plays in the system. Sue plays under his own rules. He's undisciplined.
Yeah, I guess so.
And that's why I think it'll be a perfect fit for him in Tampa Bay because they're a rudderless ship, and I leave it at that. Hey, are we off tomorrow?
No.
Okay, so we're back tomorrow.
It's the reason why I said we had a guest coming up tomorrow.
Okay, we'll be back from 3 until 5 tomorrow, but we will be off on Monday, Memorial Day. So we do want to remind you this evening